out in brief. I saw the other day where there were calls still for Oakland to defund the police, and that has never been an idea I embrace. Well, I did for a second, but the reason I stopped is because I believe that the idea was to reform the police, not to defund the police, okay? And the reason why I want powerfully calling for a plan to build an Oakland military with its own planes, tanks. I don't mean these little versions that you see on the street right now, like in the photograph. I'm talking about large, giant nation tanks, the kind that our country would buy, but made for us, made for the city of Oakland. And on top of that, a whole fleet of planes, like those DC-10 tankers there, but we would need one tanker or two and a fleet of cargo planes and military troop planes. I would say to the total about 20, okay? And then on top of that, we need a secret research lab for military weapons of Oakland's own use, all right? And I believe we need to start on this now, right now. And here's the reason. Very simple. US President Donald Trump. Donald Trump saw that New York elected or is poised to elect its first, hey Derek, how you doing? Derek Sue says Blackhawks. That New York is poised to elect its first Muslim mayor. And now others are saying, 9/11. And then Trump alluded to the idea of taking over New York purely on that basis. I can think of other reasons why in other cities that are more appropriate to take over than New York, and not for that reason. Like, for example, I can make an argument of why Donald Trump should take over Oakland, okay, or any president. But what my concern is that there is a term called home rule. And home rule essentially says, for all practical purposes, that the city has a right to the determination of its own laws and the execution of those laws within its boundaries. What's going on of late, folks, is a constant violation of home rule. It was done in the Ohio by the state of Ohio against Cleveland with respect to the Browns stadium situation. In that case, the governor of Ohio conspired to work against the mayor of Cleveland, Mike Bibb, so that they're giving $600 million to the Browns to essentially go to a suburb of Cleveland, as opposed to helping the city of Cleveland keep the Browns in Cleveland by advancing that same $600 million. Now there's another lawsuit up that says that, hey, those unclaimed funds should not be for the use of the state giving them to the Cleveland Browns, all right? But the bottom line is that you have essentially the state of Ohio that is acting against Cleveland and arguably robbing economic development from Cleveland and giving it to a suburb, okay? That's got to stop. So home rule is being violated because Cleveland is a home rule city. Cleveland is a home rule city. Similarly, Oakland is a home rule city that is a sanctuary city. So what's the state to Trump to really just say, I'm going to take over Oakland because, well, first of all, it's corrupt by perception. Second of all, it's, we've got this, it's a harboring and what he would see as illegal aliens, all right? But we're a sanctuary city. Trump is known for not following the law. He does what he wants to do. So in order for cities today to protect themselves we have to take the meaning of home rule to another level. A home rule city should be a city that has its own military. And I'm not saying that we be allowed to have it. I'm saying that there's nothing to stop us from building one. There is no law in the books right now that says a city cannot establish its own military. And we need to do it. Okay? We need to establish it so that we can go to war against either our own country, hey, I'm saying this in the extreme sense, or our own state, if they conspire to violate our home rule and make our city do things that our residents don't want it to do. And so if we have a rogue president that wants to impose slavery in our city, we should be able to stop it in more ways than one. We should have 10,000 troops, all Oakland residents. We should have our own type of bulletproof material and special helmets. We should have our own secret bunkers and everything else. We should have complete control of our city, okay? And against the tyranny of the government. Because that's what Trump is essentially leading us to. Think about it. So this call for defunding, forget it, all right? Forget it. And I'm saying, hey, Kat, I understand what you're saying about the funds, but that guns and butter argument is because we don't use tax increment financing in Oakland, and we should, okay? We should. What I'm saying is that we, as a city of Oakland, need an arsenal of our own democracy, of how we interpret democracy. And we need some kind of way of protecting it, because the way we're allowing that dude to behave, if that doesn't concern you, there's something wrong with you. There really is. There's something wrong with you. Hey,
a little faster.
How you doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Hey, I think every city should have its own military. What do you think?
Every what?
Every city should have its own military.
City?
Yeah.
Well,
Planes.
you're attacking Peachtree City right now, then.
Well, I didn't think about it that way. I'll think about it. I'm thinking about like in California, like in some states we have, or Ohio.
Well, smart thing to do if you saw California off, let's throw it on off into the Pacific.
Oh, you destroyed my home. No.
Oh, yeah, be better off do without it.
I'm from California.
Yeah, but you're not there now. You see, that's the problem. You're just living there now.
Touche. As I was saying, okay? As I was saying. That's funny. I'm in Fayette County, Georgia. My point is that we're at a situation where we don't want, and there are people like my friend who think that California should be sawed off and fall into the ocean. I happen to disagree. All right? And that's another reason why Oakland needs its own army. Suppose there are people who, hey, get control and think, oh, by the way, you know what? California's bad. Get rid of California. I mean, they really mean get rid of California. That's scary stuff. Okay? If what we're going through now is not a warning to you, there is something wrong. All right? There is something wrong. So now I'm not saying defund. Do the reverse. Make a true army that can truly defend our home. Home rule at its finest. All right. Love to hear your view on this. I'm really serious about it. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com and OaklandNewsOnline.com. Thanks. Spread the word, Derek.